That's a good call. All right. Shout out. Take note. That's
Yeah,
how
I
you make it
wouldn't
look
show
bigger.
the bass, but the fingers would be down, so it would
So you
be
push
like
down the bass for full effect. You push down the
yes.
bass. Then you hook the fingers down lower, and you don't
Yeah, if
show
you have
the
like
full.
3 fingers in it and they're at your base, but like it makes it look
And
like
really
it's in the
squish
middle.
really squish your fingers together so that it looks even bigger.
Yeah.
Life is a challenge.
How do you get through it?
Laughing at the dark and dirty. We walk you through all the naughty secrets of the adult industry, and you get to be a fly on the wall with 2 best friends in the business of boobs.
We want to hear your dirty secrets too.
If you have stories to share, questions for us, need advice, then send us an email to twndpodcast@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail at 702-900-6446. We'll always be laughing here. It's our favorite way to cope. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, share with a friend, and leave us a rating wherever you listen to podcasts. And we thank you for coming this week. I have no idea. I don't know the rules of anything. I wish I did. Welcome back to the Totally Wholesome Not Dirty podcast. I am your host, Molly Stewart, and today's returning guest is the man whose hair fetish videos took Cameo by storm during the pandemic. He's a hilarious comedian, and he also hosts his own podcast that people actually listen to, The Josh Potter Show. So
I
welcome.
like your NPR voice.
Oh, thank you. I feel like last time I had you on, it was a very basic setup. I feel like this is a little more of a setup instead of the casting couch that we were on.
Yeah, this is a whole room now.
Yes.
Before it was just your living room, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that couch is your living room couch.
Yeah. Well, it's not anymore. I actually got rid of it finally. It had seen too many scenes in the middle.
Oh, really?
Gave out on it. Yeah.
You broke the couch.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Absolutely.
I had a girl say to me recently, she built a bed.
Oh, really?
She's like, come over and help me break it. I'm like, well, that doesn't seem
very
You
productive.
just bought it. Yeah.
Trying to be helpful.
I wouldn't want to break it.
No. Have you ever broken a bed?
Not like on purpose.
Yeah. Well, not on purpose, but
not even like in a cool way, I should say.
oh no.
Yeah. Sorry.
Just like
choking
no,
on
you're
my-
good. Feel free to
choking on that.
choke. If you need, I brought all the Red Bull in the world to
I know. I'm
prevent the
gonna
choke.
try. I'm gonna have a little sample here. I feel like I'm at Costco or something.
I feel like I need to get back into Red Bull. I didn't realize that there were so many flavors until I went to the store for your Red Bulls.
I only buy the sugar free, so I didn't know that there was so many flavors either. This is watermelon. Never even fathomed that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And Red Bull is such a
Coconut.
thing on set, but I haven't been shooting mainstream, and that's one of the things that's always there. And you either have people who need the sugar free or they hate the sugar free.
I'm
So I
all
want to
about
get
the
one of
sugar
each.
free. Yes.
Okay,
I'm only
cool.
sugar free. I'm purely.
Perfect.
The sugar full one, I'll drink it, but
It feels thick. It feels
there's
like a
something
lot.
weird about it, and it tastes weird to me now.
Do you know what it kind of gives me the consistency of Metamucil.
Ooh, I never even had Metamucil, but the sugar-free one, there's something about how clean and just I don't even know what the word is for it,
Aluminum.
no fuss, no muss. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
just straight up. I love the way the can is. Everything about it. I love how cold when they're cold. They're
Yeah.
ice cold.
Whenever I drink a Red Bull, it makes me feel like I'm drinking alcohol because of all the vodka Red Bulls that I used to have.
Yes.
So there's
Are you trying to smoke this too? I'm
Sure,
sorry.
yeah. I mean, you can totally have.
I don't
your
know why
own.
I'm just cheaping it. I was sitting here I was just trying to. You know what? I was
Someone
trying to.
doesn't believe in puff puff pass. I mean,
No, I did. I thought. You know what I really thought last time? You were smoking your own. Last
oh,
time I
that's
was here.
right. But last time we were still kind of in COVID season, were we not?
It might have been
Because that was
actually.
2021. I feel like people were still a little more.
Maybe I wasn't concerned, especially if I was here by that point. I was doing. That was I was here with Tom doing the, theater thing. I don't even remember where it was, MGM or something like that. But yeah, I was staying at the Aria last time, so that was. I was so hungover when I was here last time. It
Yeah.
was crazy.
I remember you saying that. You were like, "I'm dead." What do you like the Aria?
The rooms. I mean, they were really nice.
Yeah, I think
It was the ones in the sky.
Oh yeah, the big skyscrapers.
Yeah.
They're cool, But like the Aria and then whatever the one is across from there, it's kind of like a partnership but doesn't have a casino. Either way, like they're really nice rooms, but they just kind of remind me of like apartments.
Yeah, they are like apartments.
But like just an apartment you could rent. I feel like if I want
I
to
couldn't
go to
afford
Vegas,
it, I feel like, though.
Don't you hate ads? They take away from the conversation. But you can go ad-free with us at patreon.com/TWND podcast. We create monthly photo sets, host Zoom chats for our dirtbag tiers, and even create short films. We have a wholesome pledge option if you want to show a little support, or dirtbag tier if you want to go all the way with us. We release episodes a day early for all tiers, and each episode is ad-free. So if you want to level up, go to patreon.com/TWND podcast and show your support.
but I feel like with Vegas, what's cool is like the weird eclectic rooms because there are some crazy ones out there.
Okay.
Like even like Palm's Place, you can get like it's just off the strip, but they have like these wild rooms. We've shot content there and stuff before, but I just felt like they were a little basic for Vegas. But one thing that's crazy, I don't know like if you're staying in hotels and stuff this time around, but I feel like the prices of hotels have gone up a lot
Everywhere.
on the strip.
But I haven't tried this. Well, the strip right now is crazy because the Super Bowl's coming.
Oh yeah.
And all the hotels are crazy. I'm staying at a condo this time around because I'm at the club. So the club is like a condo. Usually the condos are dog shit.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'll take that back. In the last like decade, the condos have really like come up because now clubs are like just going, I'm going to Airbnb the condo. You know, when I'm not having like a top headliner, I'll just
makes
put this
sense.
person in a Holiday Inn if they're not selling tickets.
Yeah.
And then I'll Airbnb the condos. And the condos are all nice because they are using them for that. So this one is in like a pretty nice, like a newer apartment complex that they just built around here or something.
That's fucking cool.
So it's pretty nice.
So as far as like traveling a lot with comedy, then you've stayed in a lot of shithole hotels.
I used to all the time.
Yeah.
And I never really gave a shit. Like, I don't mind a shitty hotel. You know, at the time, like nothing was worse than my shitty apartment. So it was like, even a shitty hotel. I mean, I've stayed in some hotels where I'm like, this sucks. This is bad, but it's not like super gross to me. I don't know. Sometimes I've not stayed in. Only I've like hooked up in gross ones.
Yeah. Gotta save that for the seedy places.
Yeah.
I was just thinking because like when I started shooting mainstream or even shooting for like magazines and stuff like that, I was so excited to get out of the house and be on my own for like a little weekend, like away from my partner at the time. And it would be just the shittiest, like looked like I could have gotten kidnapped or, well, I'm not a kid, so not kidnapped. What do you call it?
Adult sex
Abducted.
trafficked.
I could have got, well, I mean,
Is that the adult
it's
version?
kind of what my ex did, but here we are.
You're
Made
like,
a career out of it. So
kind of was in a way.
he was kind of like, this is what you're doing now. And I was like, okay, I'm stupid. So
And then you kept it going though. Now it's like that'd be crazy if you were sex trafficked like in one of like in a literal sense, like the where they sent you over in a barrel, you know, somewhere.
I would never have fit in a barrel.
And
It's not a barrel big enough. I'd be dead by the time I got there.
All right, a vat.
A vat.
But like then you get there and then you're like, well, I'm pretty much the best at this, so I'm gonna keep. And then you just like make your own barrel or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I just started bringing my own barrels over. I started trafficking men instead.
Yeah. You start bringing in the clients and
The clients have to go in the barrels to get to us. I like that. It's a good turnaround. But the whole shitty hotels thing, I always thought that was funny because I've listened to obviously so many comedy podcasts because I'm such a huge fan of comedy. I'm just a loser.
yeah, people always stay in shitty places.
Yeah, and they always talk about it. And I remember, and just thinking back, like now, how shitty they were and how so many bad things could have happened. I didn't even care because I was just so excited to like be where I was and be like, this is paid for and I don't have to.
Yeah, being a girl is awful. Like, especially, and I mean, like, for everything. Like, I don't have to, like, I could go stay in a shitty hotel alone.
Yeah, you're not going to think
about it. And I guess
twice.
maybe I can worry about, like, getting robbed or, like, murdered or something. But, like, at the end of the day, not really.
Yeah.
People are like, that's the murderer when I check in.
I think it's just the glasses.
Yeah, no, and the facial hair. I could easily be the murderer. That's what I say when I go to one of these places. I'm like, they're scared of me, probably to a degree.
Do you know what's crazy is I actually had a really weird dream the other night, like so detailed about like a horror movie. but it played out with people I knew.
Oh,
And
interesting.
you were in it.
Whoa. What'd I do?
But the funny thing is, you were just in the background every time someone was getting murdered because you couldn't see them.
I couldn't see the murder. I'm
You
like,
couldn't see the murder,
I've
but you
witnessed
kept
every murder, but
exactly.
That's
That's
so
how
funny.
it came. And I was like, I woke up like, is this a movie I need to make? Because it's.
I've
so
witnessed
stupid.
every murder, and I can't tell you who did it because I have no idea.
Yeah, one of them, it was like someone was getting strangled, and you were next to him in the hot tub. You didn't even notice. You just thought they didn't want to talk to you anymore.
Oh my God, that would happen to me. That's so crazy. That would happen to me.
I just thought that
You
would
should
be
make this
that would be
movie.
such a good concept. Speaking of movies, you're a huge football fan.
Yes.
So
There's a football. Right
there's
there.
a football right there. I made something that I might have to give you access to later because we made a short film for the Patreon.
Is this in
Nice
the picture?
little,
Oh, no, this is
nice little transition there.
Is that like a porn thing?
No.
Oh.
So there are elements of things that I bring to the OF page as well and kind of tie stuff in a little bit. However, for Patreon, we've just been, without having sponsors, we've been trying to go above and beyond. So we created something called Football Fantasy instead of fantasy football.
Okay, yeah. So far,
So
I'm on board.
So it's this whole concept. So this is coming soon. So I don't know when this will come out, but it releases on patreon.com/TWND podcast February 10th to get you ready for the big game because you can't say the S word.
Oh yes, that's true. Okay, so this is like a sponsorship thing.
Yeah.
Because no, I have the is it like you pick players and stuff like that, or is it like a game still, or is it what?
The football fantasy. So what we made was, so football fantasy is we decided to, Laura decided in the skit to learn fantasy football so that we could
this
earn
is
money
exciting.
for the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But then it devolves into mayhem. So it's just this whole thing. There are many
I'm gonna
costume
check
changes.
this out.
I ended up marrying the football. Spoiler alert.
You married the football. How does this?
Well, you'll have to watch and
I gotta
find
watch
out.
and see. Yeah. I mean, this is all. I don't know how you learn fantasy football and then end up marrying the football, but hey,
I mean, there's a lot that goes into it.
Intrigued. Okay.
Yeah, you really have to give it your all when it comes to fantasy football.
And this is on OnlyFans or Patreon?
Patreon.com. So we've started making films. So
Okay, that's
if you ever
fun.
want to be in anything, have a
Yeah,
little
I'd
Cameo.
love to. Let me know. I am down.
Speaking of Cameo, do you still do Cameo?
You know, I'd like to because I'm more broke than I was before, but I would like to get it going again, but not really at the same time. I don't really use it.
Yeah.
I did like, it is open now, and I'll get one here and there, like every now and again, someone will send one. But for the most part, it's not what it used to be. I don't like that Cameo tells you how much money you've lost by not doing them,
Oh, yeah, that's annoying.
by like not fulfilling them. I don't know if like,
It's like a guilt trip.
does OnlyFans do that when like you don't want to take a request or something? Do they go
No.
like, you lost this much money this year? It really is like mean that they tell me that.
That would fuck me up. That's just
Yeah, it made me
Yeah.
mad. Like at the time, I didn't care because when it was happening, and when I got rid of it, and I turned a whole bunch down. I did like as many as I could, and then I'm like, I just can't do these anymore.
yeah.
And I turned a whole bunch down. I stopped doing them. And at the time, the app wasn't as like advanced as it is now, so I couldn't
Yeah.
like turn off myself or whatever. I just sat there, and everything was in limbo, and people's requests just didn't get fulfilled.
And then it's
And-
stacked on top of each other. So when you have all this stuff, you even have to take the time to go in and like decline the requests.
No, I didn't even do that. I just never turned the app back on.
Oh.
So once
it's
I
even
went back
worse.
in, so like eventually it was like your account's been deactivated. If you want to reactivate it, you can go into your profile and turn it back on again and accept requests. So I went back in there and just to like turn it back on the one day, and I looked at how much money I lost by not doing the things, and it tells you it's like money you've earned, money you've declined or whatever.
Ugh.
And it's disgusting. And I
don't
was like,
like
man, that was like what I made in like a year in my past. You know what I mean? Like it working in like a full-time job in corporate radio. Like
Oh, fuck.
it's crazy that what money has turned into. Now I just feel like everything's silly. Like eggs are like $500. It's like, what is
Yeah.
going on? I don't know. I mean, everything costs so much money. I just started making more money, and then all of a sudden everything costs way more money all of
Yeah.
a sudden, like rent and stuff.
I
So
started using coupons.
Yeah.
I start clipping coupons. I've downloaded apps for grocery stores so that I can find
You have coupon vibes. I feel like you'd like that. Do you like it?
No, okay, so because I used to hate it, because when I was a kid, my mom would clip every fucking coupon.
Same here. I hate it.
And would stand in line as we're handing out coupon after coupon. And there was a whole book. It was like the wallet and then the coupon book. And just I would have to go through and find them, and we're taking like 5 hours to check out.
So you don't get
like a
juiced
few
by
groceries.
finding them. I
No.
feel like nowadays though you might be excited by something like that.
Nowadays,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
looking at the shelves. I'm like, all right, 2 for $7, but how many is in this box, and which one actually? I'm looking at like the cost, like per fluid ounce or whatever.
That's so funny.
It's so stupid, but the shock of like what money you've lost. I actually do have something with that now with Cameo, but doing DMCA takedowns. Because I have,
Oh boy,
I have the
I don't
service.
like that.
I have the service for it, and the first time that I logged in and had set up this thing, I thought I was doing a great job doing them on my own because I would search myself, I would submit the takedowns, and they would happen. I didn't know all the sites.
Oh my lord.
I didn't know all the sites. When I logged in and found, like, it took me a week and a half to go through all of the links.
Oh my god. I think you told me about this, how
Mm-hmm.
you found all the money that you could have gotten.
Oh, it was an ungodly amount. I was
Oh
like,
my
what
god.
the fuck?
So can you sue them and get that money?
No, it just
Damn.
ends up getting taken down, but it is what it is. But man,
And these are mainstream things or your own
well,
private?
some are mainstream things that you're not allowed to claim because you don't own them. So if they're just gonna put them on tube sites, then like it is what
Then
it is.
you don't care about that.
But to be
if
fair,
it's from your personal thing.
my own productions
Yeah.
and my own streams and stuff like that, then yes, I can remove it. But it's just so much, and it's crazy, like how with as much mainstream stuff as is out there, it's like all the mainstream stuff I did. I really didn't end up doing that much because I only did about a year and a half mainstream, and they're all just like girl scenes that everyone's seen a million times. So I'm like, if they're out there, hey, I guess it's like a little free advertising.
Hey, it is like an advertising, I feel like. I feel like if there's anything that the tube sites can provide, it's like getting someone out there.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
No, for
But
real.
it's like, I've definitely learned about different actresses via, coming across them on those types of things.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's funny with with having that stuff out there because most of my personal stuff that gets stolen is stuff from when I was like a baby cam model.
Oh, okay.
Like, I didn't look
You weren't
good.
doing your top work yet in your eyes. It was new. It's like having
like-
my number one special be like my open mic.
Yeah,
thing or
it's
something.
like my vintage collection.
Yeah, that's funny.
Like, and it's very weird to see that that's the stuff that gets like stolen and shared the most. And that's a little insulting, but like, I guess it's good that it's not being stolen as much now.
That's insulting. Yeah. I mean, at least steal the high end shit.
Oh yeah, like what are we doing here?
Yeah.
I mean, like, congrats to you guys. Like, I'm really glad that you're not. But also at the same time, it's like there's this one that I keep having to remove where my foot is like wrapped up in a bandage because my ex pushed me off of a dock and I ripped
no.
open my foot on a barnacle.
Pushed you off a dock?
Yeah, like playfully, but not.
Oh
and
my
so
God. How
big
do
gash
these-
up the foot and all that kind of stuff. And that's what's in the fucking forefront of the camera, shot on like a 480p webcam, and it's just my big bandaged foot. I'm like, why does this keep getting out there?
Well, feet are a thing. Maybe is like a bandaged one, a special thing.
Fuck, I didn't even think about that.
A bandaged foot is like, they're like, ooh.
I think I need to make more bandaged foot content.
Yeah. Wrap them up like a mummy.
Just slowly, like
Yeah,
unwrap
I think that's like a thing. I think everything with the feet is like a thing right now.
Yeah.
The feet can be off of a person's body, and I would still either find them attractive or unattractive based
Yeah.
off everything else.
I kind of get the foot thing, and this is the way I see it. When you notice and you are having sex with someone, if you notice the toes curl or flex,
Yeah,
that's when
fun.
I kind of get it. But it's not like all the complexities of foot fetish I don't necessarily
Right.
understand. But the more I talk to fans, the more I know what they like. And it's so much on like a individual basis. Because some people like nylons. Some people like no. Some people like them really clean. Some people like them dirty. They want like to
Yeah,
suck
yeah,
the
yeah,
dirt
yeah,
off
yeah,
your
yeah,
toes
yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah, they like
You know?
that gamey taste.
Yeah,
Um,
more flavors.
I've had girls want their toes sucked, which I'm fine with. I'll do it, but it's not like I'm not like super psyched.
I'm so hard.
Yeah, like about the feet thing. I'm not
Yeah.
like also repulsed by it or anything. But
Yeah, they gotta have like for me, like I like a clean foot if I'm gonna be sucking on a toe.
sure, I would hope that it was not like run through a like a terrible concert festival, like a outhouse section.
That's
But
what some people want.
yeah,
That's the
yeah,
crazy
yeah.
thing.
They want Woodstock feet,
Yeah.
out in the field,
Yeah.
walking around the
All
muddy
those
pits.
Little bit of
Woodstock
grainy
99
texture.
feet,
So gross.
poop in the mud.
Like, and I'll do all that shit, and it's like I say gross and I laugh, but just so y'all know, like, it's something interesting because
Sure.
honestly, when you make customs a lot and stuff like that, you're like, I want something a little different.
What? Yeah.
to,
What's?
like-
I mean, obviously that's a hack question, but like, what's like your latest weird one?
Well, some of my favorite weird ones are just people are like, be weird.
Well, that's fine. Yeah, you can handle that.
But as far as like the kink stuff, I have quite a few little tiny men, especially now that I've been training a lot.
Oh, you're doing the Gigantor stuff where you're like, smush me. I don't understand that one either,
And
but
I'll be
hey,
like,
good. God
I'm gonna,
bless you.
I'm
That's
gonna
fun.
eat you. I'm gonna
Yeah.
step
Is
on
that
you.
fun to make?
It's
Yeah.
so fun.
Do you
I
do
love
little?
it.
Do they like? How advanced is this kind of fetish getting? Are they like? Can they like CGI themselves like as a little person in the thing? Or can you
That's a
like?
fantastic idea.
Do you know what I'm saying? Or like get a little guy that symbolizes all the men?
Yeah. What I do currently right now is like POV type stuff. So I'll
Mhm.
take my phone and they're the phone. So they're
Right,
really
right.
tiny, and then I can choke them
Oh,
and I can
okay.
step on them and like tell them that I'm gonna eat them and
That's
crush
so fun.
them.
Like Moby Dick.
Yeah.
It's just like you get to live inside my belly.
Yes. Laura,
Yes.
my lips are so dry.
What happened?
I don't know, but I think if you kiss me, it will help.
No.
Well, in lieu of that, I guess I might go to liquidiv.com and use code TWND to save 15% and get free shipping on everything that I purchase. And luckily, I did, because joining us today, we have sugar-free white grape from Liquid IV. If you've never tried Liquid IV before, Laura, do you want to tell them a little bit about what they can find inside one stick of Liquid IV?
Well, one stick of Liquid IV contains all the vitamins and nutrients that you need to really be hydrated, and it has all the B's.
Vitamin B3, B5, B6, B12,
B12,
and
and
vitamin
vitamin
C,
C.
which are very, very good for your hydration station, which is your body.
Yes.
So if you think that you might be dehydrated, you probably are. If you're seeing this right now or hearing this, you are probably dehydrated, because a lot of people are. And I like to start my morning, every morning, with one stick of Liquid IV, dissolved in 16 to 18 ounces of water. I just put it in my little tumbler, take it out on my day, and I have it before I even start coffee in the morning.
It's the best. And then this is the sugar-free one. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're so good.
My-
They're all so good.
My personal favorite is white peach. I'm just currently out of white peach because I drink it all. But we love Liquid IV, and if you guys want to give it a try, these are perfect for a stocking stuffer, I would think, for the ho-ho holidays, or any time of year, really. I guess you could really have a stocking any time of year, but right now it's Christmas, so consider it in your gift purchases. You can go to liquidiv.com. Use code TWND to save 15% and get free shipping on everything that you purchase. Help the pod, help your hydration, or the hydration of your loved ones. Do you not care about the hydration of the people that you love?
Yes.
Do you want them to walk around all winter with chapped lips?
No.
Depression? Sadness? Those things can come from being dehydrated and just all walks of life, but something that will put a smile on their face is a pack of Liquid IV. So go to liquidiv.com, use code TWND, save 15% on everything that you purchase, and get free shipping. Thank you, Liquid IV, and back to the freaking show.
Ooh.
That's literally, and it's so fun, and then I just get to like flex and do that kind of stuff.
There's this foreign film I saw in a foreign film class,
Yeah.
and I think it was Italian. I can't remember. It was called Talk to Her, and it was a man. There was a scene in it where like a man fantasizes about this woman, and he fantasizes shrinking real down into like a tiny man, and then he crawls into her vagina, and they show this in the scene, and then he's just like crawling into her vagina.
What the fuck?
And so, I think about that when I think about these Gigantor pornos. You know what I mean? Or what is that? What they call them? I don't even know what they.
It's like giantess
Giantism?
porn.
Oh,
Yeah.
you started the clock. I was like, "Are you turning?"
No,
I
it
thought
was-
you were turning the movie on.
No,
the
the
screen.
thing, the thing like froze,
Oh.
and I was like, "Oh, something's wrong. It needs to be reset." But I know we were about. I just don't want to like have to keep you for too long and
No,
make
I
sure
don't
we're
care. I've
low
got,
on point.
got nothing until my show later.
Fuck yeah! I'm so
Um,
excited for that as well.
Oh yeah, you're coming too. That's good. Yeah,
Yes,
come
I'm
hang
so
out.
excited.
I'm excited that you're coming.
Comedy
I was just
nights
admiring
just
all
give me
your.
life.
I realized I don't like take in a room until I'm like,
Yeah.
been in it for a long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because my walls are mostly bare. I don't
Mhm.
think about things like that.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know. I like to have.
that's not. I mean, it's cool.
I feel like it helps with sound deadening a little bit.
Also, too. Yes.
And then it's also like I just look at little reminders of the podcast stuff, and
yeah.
someone made that for me. It's like
That's cool.
I didn't order that photo of my ass. It's just like huge, but I didn't know where else to put it because I don't really want it in my main house.
I dated a woman who had a 2-story mural in her own apartment of herself.
Whoa,
Painted. She commissioned it, and like it's like her. It's very Saddam Hussein.
that's wild.
It was wild.
That-
That was
Of herself.
of herself.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
so crazy because I was thinking about this the other day, and I was wondering, like, I don't know, do you edit any of your own clips or
No.
things? Okay. The other day was editing content. I almost had a fucking breakdown. I was like, I can't fucking look at myself anymore.
Well, it's great that you edit your own stuff. You edit this. You edit your own content for
Mhm.
OnlyFans. You're talking about how you can edit, like you're doing you're like a director. So I mean, that's like your thing,
I have a
though,
lot of
right? You're a
ideas.
creative like that. I'm not. I am a good editor in terms of like I can tell you what the clip is.
Mhm.
Like I used to edit on radio. I can do audio easy. I can manipulate audio like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
You can't really do that with. I can't do that with video, at least. You know, I'm not as good at that kind of thing. But on radio, I was good at like I could make anything into like a minute.
Yeah.
You know.
It's so good. I was thinking of you the other day actually because I had this moment when Laura and I were driving around and she didn't have Bluetooth in her car, so we had to play radio.
Oh,
And
I miss it.
I hadn't listened to radio in so long, and there was nothing on, but it reminded me of like the hometown stations that I had growing up, and like we had a field trip before I was homeschooled, and I got to go to a radio station. And I sat in the chairs. I thought it was the coolest shit.
Yes.
I thought that was what I wanted to freaking do was radio. And I would get excited to call into radio stations
Yes,
because you
it's
could
like-
hear your
it's
voice
electric.
played back.
It's electric, and
Yeah.
you're like
You're
it's
heart is
happening
thumping.
right then. It's all. I mean, maybe there's like a 10-second delay or something, but
Yeah.
it's happening like right in that moment.
Oh, it's so good.
When
And-
you're like you're going around, you come across something that's happening right then.
Yeah.
Well, it used to be, and then it started getting like taped, and that's when it lost its soul and
Yeah.
died. I mean, it's how it died. It killed itself.
Yeah. I remember like the feeling in my chest when I saw like the live button go on because they would
Yeah.
have a few of us
Of
like
course,
come
I
on because
still
we're
get
there.
that way.
I know. I get so amped up even just before like a podcast just because I'm like, what's gonna
Well,
happen?
that was
What
my
are we gonna
hardest thing
talk
about podcasting was it didn't feel as like when you go live on something, it feels awesome. You feel
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like holy shit.
Yeah.
But when you do a podcast, it's like it depends whose podcast you're doing. Like on mine, I kind of pretend like it's happening.
Yeah.
I pretty much treat all podcasts like that. Like if people want to like stop and edit things, then that's however they'd like to. Like Annie will stop and be like, "Hold on, I gotta like answer this." You should like stop it to like answer an email. Like, I mean, because we're best friends, she
Yeah.
knows I don't care. Or like the last time we podcasted, her dog was like acting kind of weird, so we had to stop a couple times for him
Yeah.
too. But it's like it gets all jumbled around or whatever. She's good at doing that. I don't think that way. I
I
just
don't
go
either.
turn it on and I go.
Yeah.
And if there's some wild thing that makes it have to stop. I had a producer one time. He was like just started working with me, and then we're doing the podcast, and we're like 55 minutes into like an hour-long podcast. And he goes, hold on, stop for a sec. I'm like, what? And he's like, I got to go to the bathroom. And I
What
was
the
like, I was like, I like almost lost my mind.
Pinch
I
it
was like,
off. What the
I had
fuck?
to like bite my tongue. But he went to the bathroom, and then I forgot he still like could hear everything that I was saying. I'm like, what are we, 5 years old going to the bath? Like, he can't hold it 5 more minutes. Like, I'm saying this to the other people. I'm like, am I crazy? I'm starting to lose it. And then like, I like got mad at him or something. And then I did like think of my mother though, like being like when I was little, I like pissed my pants out in music class because the teacher wouldn't let me go to the bathroom, and my mom was like, "Never, you're a human being. Never let anybody tell you you're not allowed to go to the bathroom." And that was like a big tenant in my like childhood. So I thought about it for a second. I talked to the guy. I go, "Hey man, like here's the thing. We don't really stop
Yeah.
recording. Like if you have to go to the bathroom, that's totally
Just
cool.
like step out.
Just step on out and go to the bathroom. I'm never going to tell an adult human that they're not allowed to go to the bathroom.
You can get like a sound drop where it's like bathroom break.
Yeah, no,
and-
like, but do not stop the show.
Yeah.
Like, you're allowed to do whatever you have to. If you have to go to the bathroom again, just get up and leave. And I won't say two things about it, but we do not stop. We do not stop everything.
No, for you to take a piss. Like,
it was crazy. I'm like, we are doing like the show.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I can't handle that. Like because my brain, I get so excited to like talk to someone, and I have ideas that I write down because I'm like, what if you forget a thought and then
Yeah.
you run out of things
What
to
did you
say,
write
and then
down?
everyone's like, "How you're so stupid."
I want
like,
to
know.
see what you wrote down. I want to hear what you wrote
so
down.
many things, but it's like I get so amped up. So when I do have an episode with someone, or we've had interviews in the past, or even just that whole thing where it's like I don't feel like you're invested in being here, and like you're on your phone, you're taking photos, you're not like part of
Yeah.
the conversation. And so then
Is
I
that
feel
what
like
people are
like why
doing? They come in here and
no
take
no
photos?
no
Oh.
most people are not. It was kind of more at AVN and stuff like that, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
like you just kind of have this sometimes where it's like you're just here to be here, and at that point I know that there's not going to be much that comes out of this because I feel like you have to be kind of present. So for me, if I lose a train of thought or whatever, I feel like someone's not invested in the conversation.
Yeah.
Then I start spiraling, and then I kind
That's
of like
crazy.
lose
Yeah,
all my
that's
thoughts and shut down.
Sometimes I don't even like I will like, if I have a guest that's like sometimes I'll get steamrolled. Like I got like
Yes, that too.
like I get like I had Sovereign Sire on, and she's so thoughtful and like funny. But I had like a migraine, and I just like let her talk I think she was just talking to be like to fill time sometimes too. Like, also we just met each other and stuff, so she was like trying to be super engaging and everything, and I was
Yeah.
just kind of like in a migraine. I was just staring like off, and like I was listening, but I was just not like coming back with stuff, and I was like, oh God, I have to like take back control of my show here.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it. I was just dead, dude. I was like, so I mean, thank God she was talking, because I don't know how I would have been if it was somebody else,
Yeah. No, and doing solo episodes like you do, I've had to do a few of those, and I always get so weird about it at first because usually if I'm just by myself talking to a camera, I'm doing like a live stream.
Yeah.
Which is where I'm comfortable. And when I'm just me talking to a camera, I feel like I'm so dumb.
Well, that's the
like I
thing
have to
that
pretend people are there.
You know what I realized is makes it easier is when people are there. That's why I like having
Yeah.
like at least 2 people in the room when I'm doing those, because it's like I can get laughs, helps me.
Yeah.
It's been helpful, like having like I have to tape a solo episode on Monday, but thankfully Kirsten will be there, so like she makes it seem like it's not a solo episode.
Yeah. No, I was telling David I wish he was here for that instead of in Washington.
Oh, really?
Because it's like when I do a solo episode, there really is no one there. So then I feel crazy.
Makes it tough, yeah. Do you ever think about, I mean, obviously, monetarily, like you'd have to like dip into the Patreon a little bit, but do you ever think about getting like an assistant or like some help to...
Well, we have to grow the Patreon, but that's kind of, we'd like to take a direction towards that. But for now, it's just kind of, it is what it is since we lost
What
our
about an
sponsors. It makes
intern?
me so sad to see the money just sitting there.
What about an intern working for experience? I know that makes it seem like, but there are more people than you think out there. And I would venture to guess there's women out there who wouldn't want to work for like creepy dudes for free.
That's true.
as an intern or what have you.
That's true. Actually, that does give me someone in mind, so thank you.
No problem. That's what I'm here to help.
So yeah, no. But the live stream thing. So for me, doing what you do, that's like a pipe dream for me. Like
What's that?
stand-up comedy.
You want to do stand-up?
I've been obsessed with. I remember like when
It's
I used
not
to
a
watch
pipe dream.
like
You can go do it.
I would watch like Whose Line Is It Anyway? And I was like, I can do that. And I would memorize all the things. I've had fucking vivid dreams about being on stage.
Well, then go on. You're in Las Vegas. There's a million open
I know,
mics.
I can't. I'm such a fucking pussy.
It is crazy, but you can have sex on camera. You know what I'm saying? Like
I
that's
would go
not,
have sex on stage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what's so funny. Like, it is like a difference in vulnerability. Like, there's so many comics, obviously, that wouldn't be able to be vulnerable in terms of like being naked and having sex on a stage. But you say you would do that, but then they're like, I go up there and I can say every thought I've ever had.
Yeah.
And like every little, like I begin to lose like what's a secret that I get to keep for myself versus like sharing it on a stage, you know?
That is one of the things that I wrote down to talk to you about is like, how much do you feel like you overshare? Because with this podcast, with live streaming, thinking about all of the camming that I've done over 11 years and how much time is just live and in front of entertaining people, like, and especially since my divorce, how much more I've like overshared. Do you ever feel like you have the pieces that you kind of keep to yourself, or do you think it's more helpful to be out there with it?
I mean, I've done radio since I was like 16, and you just have to fill time speaking. So I think I've always overshared, but like, I don't know if it's oversharing. I never really regret it. I do regret some things when I like share something about a family member or something that like I'm taking I've had to like learn to not take from their privacy. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, especially with like getting a larger or doing it on like a larger podcast, like I'm just kind of more sensitive to the fact that like, you know, they're not the ones offering their secrets. I'm doing it, which I shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So.
That's fair. That's a good realization to have.
Yeah, but when it's about myself, I could care less about
Yeah.
the sanctity of anything. I'm like, please.
Yeah.
Like I just did Carter Cruz's podcast, and she was like hesitant to ask me. I'm like, what would I not share about my like sex life? I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I have no reverence for my own secrets. It's just, you know, other people's stories and everything.
Yeah. Now I kind of feel like when anyone can Google a picture of my butthole, it's kind of like, what could I share that's gonna hurt me at this point?
Sure, but it's also like that, like you're saying with being on stage and stuff. It's like it's your thoughts that are vulnerable that that freak you out about sharing that, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
So
Or like here's something that I think is funny, but I have a touch of the tism and like it is nobody else, and then I'm gonna be devastated because I wasn't immediately good at something for the first time.
yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, it's tough when if you have that mindset going in, that does make it difficult.
Yeah. And it's one of the things too that I've always been judged like on this, you know? So it's like, and then there's also the association
People
with
would
that.
pay
So
attention.
people don't, well, they would, but it would also be like a whole new influx of, well, you suck regardless because of that thing that you do to make money. You know
Well,
what
I don't know
mean?
about that, but I know that I know it is tough for like hot girls to be on stage because people start looking at them and they're not listening for a second. Do you know what I mean? It's tough to be hot and on stage and it's almost like a lot of them dress down because of that.
Yeah.
And I've heard that, and I used to be like, that doesn't make a difference. Why would you think that? And then I've watched it happen, and I go, oh, okay, I get it now. I guess I'm not a woman, so I shouldn't.
Yeah. Like the things I say, like on live stream, and people will be like, "Oh, you're so smart, you're so funny." I'm like, "Well, it's just because you can see my tits right now. Like, I could say anything. I could be like, the Earth is flat and the sky is pink. Like, fuck you," and they'd be like, "All right, that's cool. Your tits are out." Like,
That's another thing I really loved about radio is that you didn't know what anybody looked like.
yeah, you would have ideas in your head
Yes.
of like, what
And then
they look like.
oftentimes, because I mean, doing it, I would meet people, and again, I did it more in the internet time, so there was like, you know, a website with my picture on it.
Yeah.
But before that, I remember I would meet people that I work with that I had been a fan of prior, and it was like, whoa, they look like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you have this image in your head of what you think they are, and you're like, holy shit,
Yeah.
that's the guy.
Yeah. And now everything is out there. So it's kind of like,
There's no more of that. There's no more mystery now with these,
Yeah.
and even like in stand up. I was thinking about that the other day. It's like I always kind of wanted to maintain this level of mystery, and it's just you can't with social media. It's like impossible. It's trying to take that away, and I'm also blabbing my face off on podcasts all over the place, and
yeah.
there's no mystery at all anymore. And it used to be like
Yeah.
something sexy about that, and I kind
Yeah,
of
where
wish
it's
I
like,
had a
who
little
are
bit of
they?
that.
What are
yeah,
they?
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
But yeah, and it's like to stay relevant and to stay in searches and to keep people listening, you have to do that because everybody else is.
Yeah, to sell. I mean, people are selling tickets off their fucking TikToks, so I gotta get my game together here.
Yeah, social media is just like, it's such a cancer. Like I never liked it. Like without this job and stuff like that, I like to say that I wouldn't even have it. But I think no matter what job I was in at this point in time.
I mean,
you
every
have
job
to
you
be
kind of
on
need to
social
be on it.
media.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people like posting of their local like insurance job or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. No, and it's just like, and everyone tries to incorporate some, like, you get the news people who TikTok dance, and you get, and then we're collaborating. And it's like so much all the time.
Yeah.
And there's always a new platform. There's always a new whatever to the algorithm, and you have to post something every day because if you don't post consistently, then you don't get. And it's like, bro,
Do you want to know what's
I
so
don't want
funny?
to do this
I
anymore.
used to preach these things to like the radio station I worked for. I used to preach social media. I remember my general manager blocked Facebook off of computers. Like this is around the time Facebook like just became for everybody.
Yeah.
And I was like, we have to have like we have to be
page.
on Facebook. Yeah, like this is before the pages. This is
Yeah.
just when people
Just when
just
it
when
was
people
brand
were
new.
brand new joining up, and I was like, we need to be on here because people are on like, on here all the time. And I
That's
was
how they're
like,
going to share stuff.
yeah, and the guy was like, actually, that's our competition. And I was like, well, we're going to lose then.
Facebook is our competition.
And he
It's not
blocked
even-
it in the office.
not even
It
the
was the
same
most
thing.
insane thing. This guy ran a media company, and he was talking about this at the time.
Into
This
the
is in
ground.
2000 yeah, it really was. This is in 2000 and like, I guess I was in college, 2007 or something like that.
Yeah,
2006.
that's when I was on Facebook.
And I remember I made a YouTube channel for the radio station
Oh,
that
for the
I
radio
worked for,
station.
or for like the radio show that I worked for, and it was like, thank God I still have it. It's my name. I put it in my name because I didn't think the channel's name meant anything. It was
Yeah.
like whatever the video title was or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was a 2007 YouTube account. I was making things on fucking iMovie, and I was getting pretty good at it. But then, honestly, like, it's radio, so they never updated software for me. They never did, and I got stuck in like 2007 software. And then when I tried to like jump back in, I am like, the world went and got itself in a big hurry here. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I feel like a fucking boomer when I try to edit anything now, and even like.
It's so much. I just
was-
keep tabs.
I used to make radio commercials on audio, like fucking. I thought I was like a goddamn savant. I was like making
You're like, "This is my
scoring music.
calling."
I thought, you know what I mean? Like it was crazy. And I look at like the same program that the today's version, and I'm like, I don't know where's this tool, and they're like, I haven't had one of those in 15 years.
They retired that way
Yeah,
back
it's like
when.
I'm making. Yeah, it's like I'm making paper like a fucking colonial person or something. It's crazy.
I feel like I've just always kept up with the video editing because it was Windows Movie Maker for me. And then it was like graduated to some off-brand one, but I had to learn how to edit my own content like from
Of
the time I
course.
started camming because it was like, oh, you don't just cam, you also make your own content. I
Gotta
was
make
like, well, what
clips
is
and
that? But I did have a YouTube channel way back in the day. It's long since been scrubbed, but I would make like music videos to Evanescence songs.
That's so cool.
It was not cool.
I think it's cool. I would have been like all up on your MySpace.
I mean, like a short, like Harry Potter fan fiction video.
Yeah, I
Like
would
a
be
movie,
on
like-
your MySpace hardcore. I'd be like leaving
Oh.
gifs, glittery gifs.
My MySpace was all really emo poetry.
Of course.
And you had the curtain bangs, and you're just so sad and dark.
I had that picture on MySpace. I have a picture of that. I'm in like sunglasses I had emo bangs back then. I miss sometimes I have phantom bangs where I like,
Just
if I'm
you feel 'em
feeling
there,
a
and
certain
you're
way,
like, oh,
I throw them off, even though I don't have any hair anymore.
the phantom bang.
Yeah, I miss my emo bangs. I used to hide behind them.
Oh, yeah, I would do I remember seeing The Incredibles, and I was like, that's how I'm going to wear my hair now, like violet. And it would be like, you could just, the ring, I'm from the ring.
That's so funny. I wanted my hair to be like Kurt Cobain, but I never, it was just long. It wasn't anything cool. Just looked weird.
Yeah.
It was like, that guy's got to go to the barber. That's what it would look like. Now I miss
Oh.
going to the barber. To think all the times I
you could have.
rejected it,
You
the
could.
process, and
you
now
could
I'll
just-
never go.
You could start wearing wigs.
No, everyone says that. I also know that now, I guess, technology is getting pretty good, where I could go to, Turkey and get some pretty decent hair
Yeah.
thrown up there. But, I had an offer to do that, 10 years ago. A company was, for sponsor, was going to, replace my hair.
Oh, fuck.
And I looked, they were like, here's some examples of, a before and an after. And the before and afters did not look great. I go, that guy just looks like he did something with his hair. It doesn't look like his hair's cool. I'm never going to have the hair that I crave, or that I at least used to have.
Yeah.
I used to have very thick, long hair, and now it's
The technology
totally gone.
isn't far off. I think. Anyway, perks of filming at home.
I
As
thought,
we were
that was
mentioning earlier.
someone was here or something. I was
No, who knows? It's just they're demon spawn, so I love them. But fuck, lost my train of thought there. Oh,
the
cool.
technology.
Oh, the technology for hair. Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like at some point, with the way things are going, we'll all just be able to go in somewhere and come out looking completely different, and
That'd be cool.
that'd be cool.
God, I need that.
I feel like with a lot of the work that gets done, I feel like do you get this uncanny valley sometimes? I get this scrolling Instagram sometimes.
What's that?
And people they all have the same face.
Well, there's
And I don't know if
using the
it's
same
face
filter.
tune
Yeah.
or if it's what, but it bothers me. I'm like, why does everyone look almost the same?
Yeah, I don't know. I always take a picture. I'm like, why do I look like my photos are from 2003 or something? And I even I was talking with somebody and they were like, oh, it was Annie. She goes, yeah, you give off grandpa vibes on Instagram. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well,
I guess I don't know how to take a photo either.
there's lots of different ways. You just have to take a little camera stand with
Yeah,
you.
I
Get that
guess.
portrait mode going on.
Meanwhile, I'm just doing the what's up?
See, that's the problem. Is
Yeah.
down here.
Yeah, down here I do it.
Have you ever sent someone a dick pic?
I have, yeah.
What
A
is
few.
the angle choice for you? Because
I've done a
I
couple.
get so many of them, right?
Well, yeah, you're
and
all
the
over the place.
choices some people have.
That's so funny.
It's shocking.
I have one or had one from this is my maybe one of my first ones that I definitely did an up because this girl had a balls
She like balls.
yeah, so she wanted them in it.
Yeah, no, I totally get
So
that.
there's an up and it was kind of a good one. It looked really cool. It looked I thought it looked like a band photo.
Oh, nice.
Even though my dick was in it.
like a Nirvana.
Yeah. But because my face is kind of in it too.
Yeah.
Which I didn't care because I was I like this girl or whatever, and she's cool. And so yeah, I did that in the Omaha Funny Bone bathroom.
Yes.
And then
Sending dick pics from the bathroom.
but the lighting in there was great. That was the only
Yeah.
because they only have one bathroom there that in they don't have one in the green room or whatever. So I
When
was
the
in the
lighting's
bathroom.
good,
So I
you
was
gotta
in
go
the
for it.
stall, and I just was yeah, the lighting was good. I was having a good sized day, so I thought, why not? And then most of the time, though, it is, just downward.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The top of it or whatever.
I've heard people are like, oh, push it down, it looks bigger. So I feel like that's usually the choice.
My like it looks bigger trick, and I hate that I'm revealing it, but I'm going to. I think my dick pic days are past me at this point.
Yeah. So back in the
Probably.
glory days of the dick pic
Yeah, back when I was
revolution.
I would try to get like a couple fingers in it, but then put them very far down the base, so it'd be like
Yeah.
it looked like
There's more.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a good call. All right. Shout out. Take note. That's
Yeah,
how you
I
make it
wouldn't
look
show
bigger.
the base, but the fingers would be down, so it would
So you
be
push
like
down the base for full effect. You push down
Yes.
the base, then you hook the fingers down lower, and you don't
yeah, if
show
you have
the
like
full.
3 fingers in it and they're at your base, but like it makes it look
And
like
really
it's in the
squish
middle.
really squish your fingers together so that it looks even bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have small hands. My dick looks huge in
Oh
too,
yeah,
so
dude.
it's like
Look,
perfect.
I have big fucking man hands. Like all my appendages are so long and big. Like these are disgusting. But people pay good money to see them for some fucking
Yeah,
reason.
I mean, hey.
But speaking of porn, I know based on stalking your show that
Yeah.
you're more into lesbian porn.
I am.
Okay. Was the first porn you ever saw lesbian porn?
Yeah, I mean, no, it wasn't, but I discovered it, and I remember, like, there were, like, a couple of sites that, like, I wish still existed. HazeHer.com was huge for me, and it's gone. And,
I was actually listening to that episode, and I thought of an idea
What's that?
to bring it
To
back.
bring it back? Oh, my God.
But
Please bring
like
it
not
back,
the whole thing, but I
folks.
was like, that would be a fun like little series, and I had a couple people in mind. So if you don't mind me stealing it,
Please, steal it. I mean,
because
as
it
long as
sounded
you
like
make it.
so fun. Because I love like when I do like dominatrix type
Sure,
content,
sure.
because I get to put on the character. You
Right,
know what I
right.
mean?
It's
and
a fun-
it
it's a
feels
fun-
powerful, and I'm just such a bitch. Like, you know.
No, it's a
And I
fun
was like,
one.
that would be fun to do, because that's something I miss about like shooting for Brazzers was like their hot and mean scenes, because I was always the mean.
Yeah.
And she was the hot, but I got
That's
to be
so
mean, so
funny.
it was cool.
Yeah, this was like just this like I mean, it was always a group thing, and it was the best. And I was like, that's what I've imagined it would be like in college. You know, I don't know, and it wasn't.
It
for
wasn't
me,
like
at
that in
least.
college.
I think it was actually, but not where I was hanging out.
Yeah.
I think that was
like at
happening
another spots.
somewhere. And what was the other one on that fucking site?
Y'all know how much I love making content, and one of the most important things for quality videos is lighting. But who wants the same old boring ring light? You can upgrade from basic to adorable at kawaiilighting.com with code TWND for 10% off. This podcast is lit by Kawaii Lighting's star-shaped ring light. There are also heart and kitty cat options to make you feel as cute as these lights look. Kawaii Lighting has many RGB options, which you'll have seen used in many of my videos and photos. Don't be basic. Stand out with Kawaii Lighting by using code TWND to save 10% and help support this wholesome pod. Let them know we sent you.
That I used to fucking watch. But I don't know. That one really was the one. That was like the first one that stuck out for sure.
So does like seeing dicks and stuff
No, I
bother
don't
you, or just
mind
don't care?
it. I just don't care. It's just there was something
You're like, I don't need a
about-
guy to be in it.
I don't know. There's just something about girl that's just like it's like there's something like taboo about it, like where it's like a secret that I get to be involved in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I like that. That's a good description.
Yeah.
No, because I know that some guys are so like, girls, lame, girls, whatever. I'm like, I don't know. I have fun. Like,
Yeah, that's the thing. And also, I feel like you can tell that the actresses are enjoying it more than I feel like if they were, some, obviously, not all
Yeah.
of them, but
I mean, some girls really love being put
yeah,
in
of
pile
course, you
driver
can
with
tell
like two dicks
you
at
can tell
once.
the difference when they're
Yeah.
not into the girl too.
No, yeah, that's the thing. Like, that's the thing shooting as well, as you can really tell
Yeah.
when they're not into it. And then it's like, I hate when people, I hate with shooting mainstream. Well, it's not even necessarily just mainstream, but certain performers really put on a lot more than I think that they need to. And not most,
Mm-hmm.
but just some that I've experienced. I'm kind of like, that's like a lot. Like that's not what
You mean
would
like,
sound
oh,
like.
I see what you're saying.
Like just like
performative.
very
Yeah.
performative. And then I'm like, at that point, I don't feel like you're actually enjoying it, so it's not as fun for me.
Yeah, no, that's like real sex. I mean, yeah, so you actually like, I thought because it's like acting or whatever, obviously, that there would be more of that than you would think.
More of
The
like the performative,
parts, yeah.
And some people like I mean, of course, if you're gonna put on a scene, you're gonna be maybe a little louder than normal. You got to make sure it's picking up on the mics. You know what I mean? You can edit it in post, but it's definitely like when I make scenes. Maybe that's why I don't shoot mainstream as much now. Is because like when I get to make content with people, then I know that we're actually there to have a good time,
genuine, yeah.
to have a good connection, like, and not have to put it on too much because like. Fans like to see what they like to see, but if they're on your OF page, it's like they've already seen you do the other stuff, and I feel like they like the stuff that's more authentic and almost more amateur style, but with a good production because I know what I'm doing. So.
Yeah, I think that's like a top sort of. That's like going to Trader Joe's instead of Costco for food. You know what I'm saying, or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
it costs a little bit more, but you know, I got
and
people.
There's a lot of care into it. You know?
It's like the amount of time. Like, I don't even know if people necessarily realize how much time I put into editing content alone.
I mean, I'm sure.
It's like not just having a full couple days of shooting to get through all customs and, you know, now I have to make a new script idea or whatever. It's like nobody else does that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just me. And people are like, why are you so tired? I'm like, well, it's been 11 years.
Yeah,
almost.
there's a lot of, there's not that, I'm sure there's not that many, but there's like a few people who, I mean, like you don't even realize they're editing everything, they're producing everything. And it's like a lot of work going into that kind of thing.
Yeah. I'll be chatting with people and they're like, well, why hasn't this been made? And why hasn't this? And I'm like, do you realize not only am I like having to, but you have to talk to the people in the DMs. Then you also have to do that while you're editing things on the same computer. So you got tabs open.
It's amazing that you're still doing it yourself too. And obviously you can tell the difference.
It's insane. It's a lot. But it is what it is, you know? It's like, I got to do all these things. And a lot of people are very understanding, but you get the people who are new.
How many people have like a guy in, fucking Pakistan doing that for you?
Yeah.
You can tell the difference too.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny. I always get these offers, like you get these emails through Instagram, like, I see that you have an OF page. Did you know that we can make you an additional? I'm like, how?
Yeah.
What's your pitch? Hey?
They just
you could make more money. I'm like,
what they do is
do you know who I am? Do you know how much work I do? There's no way that you could do what I need you to do.
It's a Ponzi scheme, really, because what they do is they have then they try to grow their network as big as possible, and they promote you on their other people, but you're just becoming a co-op then at that point.
Yeah, and I feel like I've heard so many horror stories from girls who have tried to let someone run their account, and then I've heard stories of it going like where they get locked out of their account, where they're like having all these issues, and I'm like, I don't need to give some stranger like access. Like, you couldn't operate at my level. You don't have this brain. This brain's fucked up, man. You can't replicate this shit. So I don't have to worry about AI.
That's so funny. This brain's fucked up.
It's so fucked up. It's like you can't program that.
Are you
trauma
saying
into
like
an AI.
do you use the fucked upness of your brain in your DMs?
Oh, absolutely. I'm so weird.
Oh, so you have to be like,
yeah, it's like you can get to this level of like, sometimes I'll tell people like things that I've sexted someone about, or like,
wow, okay.
And it will be like, they'll be like, what? I'm like, yeah, you couldn't do this. Like, unless I feel like you have to have experience doing this. And if you have experience doing this, then you're the one doing it. Like, do you know what I mean? Because at that point, it's like, you can't replicate that. Like, how are you going to know how to reply to this guy that's like, I want to put my face between your butt cheeks and not be allowed to breathe. I want you to smother me completely. Like, how most normal people are going to be like, I don't even know how to reply to this.
I don't exactly.
And I wish I could tape your face to my ass so that you could never breathe again. And as you were struggling beneath me, like, I'll make it a fucking story, man.
That's great. Yeah, that takes brain effort, though.
Yeah. And it's like, but most people aren't willing to kind of like I feel like learn. They just see this market in OnlyFans, and then you have creators who are new and don't necessarily know what they're doing, and they're like, here's people who know what they're doing and they can do this better for me. It's like, well, can they?
Yeah.
What do you know about them? Like, what is their
Exactly.
plan? Because nobody has ever pitched me a plan that's like, here's how it's going to work. And I'm like,
Wow.
that sounds stupid.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if you come up with a plan at all, it's like, otherwise it's just like, we can make you this much more money. I'm like, you don't even know my parameters. You don't know how many fans I have on there. You don't know anything. How do you know that you can do that?
That's why you're successful, though, because I've seen women and known women who really half-ass it, and they have like, minuscule amounts of like subscribers and money then.
Yeah.
But they're doing this thing and they don't even really want to do it.
That's why I feel like if
It's
you're
like
gonna...
it seems like really strange to me.
Yeah. Like, why would you do it at that point? It's
Yeah,
like,
that's what
it's
I'm
like at
saying.
some point, I'm sorry, but like, I'm a human. No one's going to want to jerk off to me at a certain point. It's like, I'm going to do this shit while I can. And then on top of that, I know a lot of, not like a lot of, but there's, at least I've heard from fans on my page, a lot of creators who say they'll make something, they don't make it. A fan gets, bamboozled
Right.
out of money and stuff like that. Or
There's no recidivism then. They're not going to have people come back. if
yeah,
that's the case.
exactly. But it's also like, I feel like a lot of people don't remember. It's like, oh, I want to be respected, like, even though I do this, whatever. And it's like, nobody owes me their respect. However, I have people on my page who work jobs that I don't work to watch me fuck around and act like a Looney Tune naked. Like, half of the content I make is just so weird. Like, I have a whole leprechaun video. I have a beard.
That's so
Like, it's a
funny.
whole thing, and it's like these people are
Yeah,
respecting
you
me
do
enough to like
themes and
support what I
costumes.
do. So I'm going to appreciate that and try to put in as much as I can to making sure that they're having a good time. Because I'm just a fucking clown that gets naked. Like, there's no reason people should check off to me. Yeah, here we are.
So funny. Yeah, I mean that is the extra mile, and that is why, like I said, that you are successful. Because like I said, you can't like half-ass really anything in life. It's kind of a life lesson. But if you're half-assing doing OnlyFans, you're really like bargaining with yourself, I'd imagine. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
just to get like what, a couple extra bucks a month. Like it's really minuscule. Like
Yeah, especially if you're not going to put in the time, because it's like, well, then people can just like look at you naked and you're not really getting much for it.
It's like
like
$2,000 a month, maybe, like at the most.
it's
I've
like
seen,
if you're going to do that, go all in.
yeah, that's what
Figure
I'm
out
saying.
something, and then if you grow your brand, you can turn it into what you want. You can have like 4 people who listen to a podcast show
Right.
that you produce. You know what I mean? That's cool. So you can make more work of yourself by starting a Patreon. You can do all these other things.
No, sure, that's like a lesson in any sort of, I guess, thing that you want to do. But yeah, some people I feel like they just think it's like a simple money thing.
Yeah.
And it's the same with like podcasts and stand up. I mean, stand up, thankfully, that washes out pretty quick. No one
Yeah.
actually goes like, I'm gonna make money doing this, but like they think they're gonna just do it right away and then get to the top right away. But
Yeah, because they'll know what they're doing with clips. And
it'll
blah,
like
blah.
ruin them in within 2 seconds. So yeah, but it's
Yeah.
getting in front of a live audience. It's so
Oh,
different. Like
yeah.
the clips, you could put as many clips as you want, but
Yeah.
you got to eventually do the thing again.
Yeah, of course. And most people just aren't cut out for it. It's like people who will start and stop OnlyFans or start and stop camming. I've seen so many people like come and go, and even people have come to me like, "Can you help me with blah?" And I stopped helping because
You
I
gotta
was
stop.
like,
Yeah, you can't help people.
I came to this realization that I was like, no, you.
No,
but here's the thing:
I
is
know
like
what
you
you're
can,
saying, though.
but you
I said it
can't.
like that. Yes, I said it in a way that was like,
No, because I agree. Because I had this realization recently. I was like, you can and you can't, right? Because nobody gave me the determination or the drive except for my mother. So here I go with all my trauma pushing forward. And so no one can
Yes.
give you that want to succeed or that want to do more. It's like, I don't see there as like, people are like, well, what's the end goal? I'm like, there isn't. Because it
No,
doesn't,
yeah,
it doesn't end. It keeps
Right.
going no matter
Yeah,
what you're doing.
yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah.
like, you think you just reach this pinnacle of like, oh, I've done this and this and this. Well, I guess I'm fucking done now. Because
Exactly.
you might as well die. Like,
yeah, no, that
there's-
there is. I mean, I always knew there was no end to, but now it got to the point where it was like where I never thought I would get to the level I was getting,
yeah.
And I was like, man, this is like scary to like have to maintain this.
Yeah. And it's a lot,
Versus,
but you
like-
have that drive and you have that fire. You can't
Well, yeah.
manufacture that in someone. So it's like you'll have these people who are like, you know, can you help me do this? And how do I do this? And it's like, if you really wanted to, you would figure it out, and then you'd be like, I'm doing this. How could
Yeah.
we make this better?
Also,
you know what I
wouldn't
mean?
be
Like,
asking this question right
yeah,
now.
because I had no one to ask or to help or
No,
whatever.
it was like
It's
the question would be different. The questions would be different if you really like gave
Yeah,
a shit. Do you know what
yes,
I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
it would
Now,
be
like, can you do this for me? Because that's essentially what that's asking is,
Yeah,
can you do this
exactly.
for me? I want
show me a
what
shortcut.
you do, so tell me how to get there quicker.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you can't, because I had to go through all this trial and error and
Right.
all of these stupid decisions to finally make good ones. And it's like, I can't just give you that
Yes.
time period.
Yeah, no, it's not like you're just gonna jump from A to B because you know me and you're asking me that question. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and they think that there's some secret or something, and there's not. And that's what I've told people too. I'm just going, there's no like secret here. You just got to get up every fucking day. Like, that's what all I did. Like, all I thought about for years, and like to the point where you wake up and you're old all of a sudden, and you're like, my life is this still, and you go like, all right, here we go. You're like, and as long as you make progression, you're like, hey, I'm doing it.
I've had that conversation recently because I had this stream and people were like, I don't know what it was. There was a bunch of negativity in this stuff, but it was like, no matter what I said, I was like, well, I'm this way and I can't be any different. Whether it was like
Who said that?
a
Some
diet
guy
change.
or
Yeah,
something?
like some of the people in the stream, you know, just in the chat. And I was like, this is like such a bad attitude to have, because it's like, if you truly think that you can never change any of these things that may seem like a lot but really aren't once you just start doing it.
Yeah, that's
It's like,
a
if
weird
you're-
attitude to have.
If
Be
this
like,
is who you're going to be for the rest of your life, why are you here?
or
like-
just don't even complain about it.
Yeah,
I
or
mean,
don't
like,
complain then. But
yeah,
it's
it would
like,
be. It's tiresome to hear somebody complain about something that they're saying they're not going to be able to change. You're like, all right,
Yeah.
well then let's stop talking about it.
yeah, because like, what what are you gonna do? For me, I'm kind of like, if I reach that point, if I ever start feeling like that, it'll be like, maybe I haven't, you know, come up with some new scripts in a while, or I haven't made anything. I'll get that like itch inside of me that I'm like, I can't just sit here
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
nothing. So I don't. Maybe it's just I don't understand that mindset. But to me, that just seems so miserable. It's like you don't have any desire to like even try. You're just like, this is what I am. This
Yeah,
is
if
who
somebody
I am.
was saying like, I'm trying all these different things and it's not, and I can't change this or that, you know, then it's like a little more of a panicked. And you go, well, just got to keep going or whatever, you know. You say something more encouraged, but then the other person, it's like, I'm never gonna change. I don't want to try or whatever. You're like,
Yeah,
well
it's
then,
like-
all right. Well, so next topic. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Why dwell on
No.
this thing that you're
It's-
clearly signing off? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
Or
like, so
writing
you're
off.
just comfortable sitting in this thing that you don't like because you don't care enough to make a
Yeah.
change, and that's just so frustrating to me. Because there's always a chance to. There's like so many opportunities that people just kind of ignore because it seems too hard at the time.
Yeah, totally.
I don't like that. It bothers me. I wanted to see one little thing. Oh, so I have a question.
Hmm.
You were saying, do you mind talking about hallucinogenics?
Not at all.
Cool. Because I've never done them before.
Never.
Because I'm too afraid of my own brain. The dreams that I have when I don't smoke weed before bed are terrifying.
Okay, so here's the thing, and I know that you're a heady person, so like it could be intense for you, but at the same time, like, I don't know. It's like if you just wrap your head around the thought of I'm doing drugs, just let go and experience all the thoughts and just realize this is because I'm experiencing this high. You know, just become
I've heard that people throw up from mushrooms.
Mushrooms they upset your stomach
I
sometimes.
don't like that.
So,
I'm so terrified
but there's
of
ways
vomit.
to do it now where it's not that. And also acid, you could do acid and it doesn't. I've found acid to be delightful because I don't have that feeling. I don't like the upset stomach thing either. That's the worst part about mushrooms is that come up like that where you have the upset stomach for like a second. It's not too crazy, but it's just like
I hate it. I'm always just like,
I always
I'm
get
so paranoid.
that's the anxiety I have about taking mushrooms is how much is it gonna like make my stomach feel like shit. But because if you're out, you're like I don't want to like sit down and be like you know what I mean? Because there is like an
No.
intense moment, but it's only for a little bit. It goes away. But I always get anxiety about that. But then mushrooms is like amazing all the way through, and then actually the come down is like you feel amazing, you feel euphoric almost. It's crazy. So like the come down is actually the best part. It's the only drug where that's the case.
Damn. I'll have to think about it.
But acid is just A to B. I mean, it is. There's no.
Yeah.
And
No,
that is
Laura got dosed.
on acid.
Yeah.
Oh, like against her.
She had no idea.
That's awful.
Yeah. Her
did
partner's
it?
brother was making smoothies. She was like, it ended up being fine because it wasn't that much, but he didn't tell her.
Yeah, that's terrifying to
I
not
know. It made me so mad.
You
And
could-
she was like chill with it, like whatever. But I was just like, I would not be chill. She's like, that's why I didn't tell you because I knew you would have come over and fucking done something.
But like, did they tell her at least before or was she just like full
No,
on
she
tripping
said
and then?
because he said that there was like a tiny bit of mushrooms in it, but she said that was fine.
Okay.
She didn't care about the mushrooms, but he didn't say anything about the acid. So she took like a little sip, started walking outside, and then everything started going like this. And she's like, "That's not mushrooms." So,
It could have been. I would have just
no,
assumed
she
it was...
turned around. He said it was acid.
No, I know, but I would have assumed it was just. I would have been like.
She
'Cause
said with the small amount that he said was in there, it shouldn't have been anything, just more like a.
Sarah Weinshank one time gave me, and now I can handle my drugs pretty well, but like we were out hanging out one night, and she always has these like mushroom capsules, which is better. That doesn't upset your stomach because they're ground up inside.
Yeah, Laura puts those in a little like Gucci perfume bottle.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe try those instead. But like, so she goes, "Yeah, do you want to do a microdose?" I was like, "Sure." So I took one, and then I was like, having visuals and stuff. Usually on a microdose, you don't have
Really?
like that. And I was like, man, I don't know if it's because I haven't eaten anything today, but these mushrooms are just like
Hitting.
ripping right now. And she goes, "Oh, I gave you a macro dose." And I was like, "Did you know that?" And she goes, "Yeah." She like had this like look on her face, and I was like, "Wow." I was like, "You're dosing me?" And she was like,
You needed it.
"No." That's what she said. She was like, "You can handle it or whatever." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right." I mean, it wasn't crazy, but it was like, yeah, it was fun. But acid, I went on New Year's Eve to Joshua Tree and did acid, and I needed. I was like having extraordinary depression,
Yeah.
and it broke something in my brain where it like made me feel capable and motivated again.
Well, that's really cool.
And it was like this different outlook on a whole bunch of stuff in a weird way. And I don't even understand why or how that happened, but it just was like all of a sudden I felt like I could breathe and I was like a man again or something. It was, I don't know, it was something weird about it. Like
Yeah.
I don't know why or how it happened, but I needed that big time.
Oh.
I don't know if it
I've
was
heard
like
a lot of
camping
people.
or whatever. I was doing the whole thing. I was out at Joshua Tree. So.
Well, Joshua Tree is a whole experience in
Yeah.
and of itself, for sure. I feel like most people who go to Joshua Tree do hallucinogenics. It's just kind of like goes with Joshua Tree. But I've
Yeah,
heard
it
from
was
a lot of
amazing.
people that when they've had like an experience on hallucinogenics, they do kind of have that after effect of like it has some sort of clarity. And I'm just like, man, I could really use that, but I don't know if I can get past the
You just have to like,
vomits.
I don't know. I have I'm pretty good at like realizing this is happening because of drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Even weed sometimes. Like, I don't know. I guess I just smoke weed to get to zero now, which is pathetic, but also it just helps me like get through the day. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
get menial tasks done. Otherwise, I'm just like a ball of dread and crippled, you know.
Better than drinking all day,
Yeah, I definitely don't do that.
because I used to do that.
I still drink. I mean, I get, you know, raised eyebrows about that sometimes, but not like anything crazy.
Yeah. Well, no one was raising eyebrows when I was doing it, and nobody cared. But I was looking back at my photos from my early 20s, and I was like, I look so much worse. My skin looks worse.
Oh,
Everything was, and it kind of like made me stop and realize like
What'd
how
you drink?
much I was drinking. Oh, everything.
Oh, you just would drink booze?
Yeah, Jameson.
Oh, see, I didn't drink.
I
can't
had
drink booze anymore.
my ex was drank more than me, we'll say.
Okay.
Someone got me into drinking.
Wild,
and
yeah.
I didn't even realize. And with webcam, it was so easy to just be like, this many tokens for a shot, and people would just tip
Oh, I see.
for shots. So you get to the point where eventually you're like, oh, I do need to switch to vodka, but it's actually a bottle of water.
Oh, I see.
Because it gets to the point, and they'll spend so much, because I don't know what they think's going to happen when you're just like drunk on cam, but
Yeah.
the amount of times that I
They're
was
not-
drunk
yeah.
on cam.
Wild.
Mm.
Well, they think you're just gonna do anything then if you're drunk.
Yeah.
Probably.
Me, I would just like,
You're like, I'll
Yell
do
at
anything
people.
Anyway. Yeah. Yeah. It's actually just gonna get worse.
oh, it just gets worse from
Yeah,
here. It's like
yeah.
you would get a troll in the room, and I would just spend like 30 minutes just like shit talking.
They're like, oh, this didn't work out at all.
Yeah. Well, my tits were out, so people would watch.
Oh, that's funny.
But is there anything that you want to plug?
Oh, sure. I mean, the Josh Potter show comes
Mhm.
out on Wednesdays. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, come see me live sometime.
Yeah. And Instagram is Josh
Oh,
underscore
Josh
Potter.
underscore Potter on Instagram. Yeah.
Cool. And we'll have all the links and stuff in
Thank
the
you.
description as well. And I'm very excited for the show tonight. And
Yeah, I'm excited you're coming.
that merch is for you, by the way.
Oh, this?
Mhm.
Wait, this or
No.
this?
Well, you
Wait,
can have
what
the
is it?
pillow.
No,
if
I
you
don't want the pillow. This over here. I'm sorry. I couldn't see.
You're good.
I was like, is this the pillow? I don't know what's merch and what's, because this looked like a pillow too.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? Thank
know
you.
what
I
I
didn't
thought
even.
of.
That's awesome. I'm happy for the. Oh, that's cute. Gary.
Have you ever heard of Soggy Biscuit?
No.
That's what Gary represents. So it's like a frat hazing thing. There's a biscuit in the middle.
Oh,
Everybody
yes,
stands
yes,
around
yes,
the
yes,
biscuit,
yes.
comes on it. So that's a biscuit covered in cum. His name is Gary.
Hazer.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys
you.
for listening. Thank you so much for joining and making the time for me today.
No problem.
And you guys can follow the podcast on Instagram and X at TWND Podcast. You can leave your email submissions, twndpodcast@gmail.com. You leave your voicemails, ding dong, at 702-900-6446. And subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/TWND Podcast, because football fantasy is coming out very soon. I'm very excited to share it all with you. So thank you again for coming, and we will see you Monday. Come.
The Totally Wholesome Not Dirty podcast is presented by TWND Productions, created and hosted by Molly Stewart, co-hosted by Laura Contreras, and produced by David Warne.